Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Chandrika and this is RIKA Life. So on this channel I share my yarn, my crochet, all these wonderful things that I've made and am making. So if that interests you, please stick around and watch this video. Last time I was working on a whip and this time I'm going to be working on a whip as well. So feel free to grab a work in progress, any project of your choice. And you can definitely grab a beverage. I have some water with me and we will get started. So I have quite a lot to share with you today, but not all of it is exactly crochet related. Let me first show you what I am making. So I am making another baby boy blanket, and I say that in quotes because this can be for a girl as well. It's just more boy colors than girl colors. So I am using Line Brand Mandala yarn, and this is the color Kraken. These are the stats: 5.3 ounces or 150 grams, 590 yards or 540 meters, machine washable and dryable, 100% acrylic. It is a light 3-weight and recommends a H5 millimeter hook. Those are the colors there, and this is the color Kraken. This is what it looks like. Oh, I don't know why this color is being blocked. Yeah. So those are the colors. They're very nice, vibrant colors. And this is the second ball. I'm still on the first ball. So this is the ball I'm on right now. That's what's left of it. I'm holding this, one strand of this, along with Big Twist Value in white. So I'm holding them together. And I know I've made like so many block stitch blankets, but I decided to do something different this time. So instead of the block stitch, I'm doing a V cluster stitch. And this is a pattern from Naztazia on YouTube. And it's just a very short clip of like less than 3 minutes where she explains a stitch and how to do it, how to start the chain multiple and all of that. I'll link that down below this video. You can click on more and you'll see all that information there. I'll link to her tutorial. So I have used this tutorial before. Sorry, the blinds are open and the sun is out, and there you go, it's gone again. I have used this pattern before for a blanket I made with Line Brand Mandala Ombre in the color Pure. So the color Pure has pinks and blues. So I made a large blanket for myself, which is in a different room, hanging on a couch. And that one was just one strand of that yarn because I believe Mandala Ombre is a 4-weight, but regular Mandala is 3-weight. So that one turned out good. So just because I bought more of that yarn, I was thinking of that stitch. So I decided to do that with this mandala. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. I don't really think there's a back or a front, but I'm going to show it to you. So I'm holding those two strands together and I'm using a K 6.5 millimeter hook, a Susan Bates hook. That's what I'm using. These are my favorite hooks. And let me just pick it up and show you what I'm making. So I'm making another blanket. This is what it's looking like. It's not too wide, but I think it's wide enough. I'll show it to you up close so you can see the stitches. That's the V cluster stitch. It's very, very beautiful. And it's giving a nice dense fabric. What else can I tell you? It's a very easy stitch. You just kind of get into the rhythm of it because it's just using double crochets and one chain space, and then it's a very, very simple pattern. I would definitely recommend you to go check that out. I'm going to link it down below again, as I mentioned. So I'm just going to be talking and working on this at the same time because I'd like to get in a little bit of crocheting today. I have a lot of other things to do, but I really wanted to make this video and to connect with all of you. So that's why I decided to do it right now. I'm actually trying to figure out during the week what is a good time for me to record my videos, which I haven't really created any sort of schedule for that yet. So that is something that I need to work on because I mean, I feel like before the summer I was kind of so good with all that, and even throughout the summer I would record things in advance, and now because I haven't been crocheting as much, I've just been kind of busy doing other things and being more physically active. that I have not spent that much time crocheting, sitting and crocheting. Um, I've also been reading a lot, so I get library books digitally and I read them on my Kindle. So I've been reading a lot of books there. Then I actually had a chance to go to the library in person and I picked up about 8 or 9 books. So I've been doing a lot of learning, reading. Um, all of that's been happening, family things, things with the house, people visiting, you know how it goes. So life is just getting busy, and I haven't really focused that much on my crocheting, which is okay. You know, there's always an ebb and flow. It doesn't need to be constant. This color is so pretty. This blue that just started, I love it. It's reminding me of Karen Simply Soft in Blue Mint. That's almost exactly the same color. It's coming out really nice on the screen. Yeah, see? It's very pretty. So we have a new addition to the family. My brother-in-law just had a baby boy. So he was born last weekend. And so he's just a couple of days old, and they finally came home from the hospital. So that's just been very exciting. We've been calling them, talking to them, seeing the baby, and we hope to be able to go soon to meet the baby in person and to meet them. So that's been really fun. I did have family here with me. I had my in-laws here. They have left, and they will be going to see that baby soon. So yeah, lots of exciting things happening. I actually had a friend come into town for work, so I was actually able to meet her. She was kind of on my end of town, and I got to meet her. She came to my house. I would have loved to spend more time with her, but that it just didn't work out because you know how work meetings are, and just traveling for work, it gets crazy. So I would have loved to spend more time with her. But anyways, the reason I'm telling you this is because I took her to a certain area where her she had a work dinner happening, and so I was like, hey, I'll just hang out here, and whenever you're done, let me know, and then we can hang out. That didn't end up happening. Her dinner ran long. I had to come back home. But in all that time, I spent about 2 hours by myself. I was out of the house. Hubby was with the kids. I walked around this shopping area. I had dinner by myself. It was really relaxing. And then in the evening, it started to cool down, and I sat in this there's this turf area, and there's fountains, and there's kids playing, and there's all these lights were lit up, the trees were lit up, everything was decorated. It was just so beautiful. I really, really enjoyed it, and I think I just needed that little bit of change. So thank you to my friend for coming, because I was able to have a little bit of alone time as well. And I didn't even know how much I needed it, you know. And then I got home at a decent time. I mean, I was home by like 8:30, but I don't think I even stayed up that late that night. But when I woke up the next morning, oh my gosh, I was just like, I don't know how to describe to you. I felt so refreshed. I felt so like rejuvenated. I was like, wow, I haven't slept like that in so long. And it was just a nice experience to not have to do the evening routine, bedtime, bath time, dinner time, all of that. It was such a nice change for me. So thank you to my hubby, thank you to my friend for making it happen. And that was a really great start to this week. So I feel like I'm on, you know, a positive upward spiral, you may say, feeling good. I've also been listening to some meditations and some sound healings on YouTube, and those have been so, so nice. You must have heard about the vagus nerve. It's this very important nerve in the body. So I was listening to a meditation for that, and then I heard a different meditation, and I was just like, I was so zen. I still kind of feel like that when I put on those meditations. So I'm kind of like in a very zen place, which is nice. And so now I feel like my mind is clearer, and now I can sit down and, you know, put time into the things that I want to do. I guess we just never know when we need that little bit of a break, that little bit of a refresh. It's kind of like a reset, you know. It's like when you unplug something and you plug it back in, or you restart your phone, you know, which never really happens. But when you end up restarting your phone, you're like, oh, I haven't done this to my phone in a long time. Maybe it needed an update. So, yeah, I am loving this pattern. I love this stitch. It's coming out so good with this blanket. I think I must have mentioned to you before. So, the baby that was just born, the baby boy, the parents didn't find out, they didn't want to know if it was a boy or girl. So, I didn't make anything yet. I'm thinking I might give this blanket to them because it's nice and warm, and it's going to be fall soon and the baby will need a nice warm blanket. So I'm thinking maybe this could be for the new baby. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not 100% sure. I just want something really fun and bright, and I mean, the main thing is that it's made with love, right? That's the main thing. That's all that matters. But I feel like this one is looking so nice. It started with like a navy blue, then it has some shades of green. Now it's going into different lighter blue, and then I think it'll go back. Yeah, so this blue, this is a blue, not a purple. But this blue is different than the blue it started with. It started with like a navy blue, and then this is like a royal blue kind of color. And then I'm going to go back to this. So it's really funny because you don't realize how much a pattern is a yarn eater until you start making it. I thought that these mandala cakes have 590 yards, and I thought that I would be able to make this entire blanket with one cake, but this pattern is a yarn eater. It's using up so much yarn, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I think I will be using the second cake because it's not going to be enough to just work with one cake. So that's totally fine. But I just wanted to share that because we kind of don't always estimate how much yarn we need for a project. So it's always good to have a little bit of extra. And so I'm really glad that I have bought 2 cakes of this, and it's really, really nice. These 2 yarns put together. So mandala yarn is one of my favorites now. My other favorite is Karen Simply Soft. But mandala yarns, the whole line really of mandala yarns, I think I've used everything except for mandala impressions, which is a bulkier yarn. So I've used regular mandala, which is the one that I'm using right now, which is right here. This is a regular mandala. I've used mandala ombre. I've used mandala baby, which is very similar to the regular mandala. I've used mandala sparkle. I've used mandala gradient. So I'm not sure if I'm missing any other ones, but I've used pretty much all of them. I've used the mandala bonus bundles, which are just mandala yarn but in more yardage. I just haven't used the impressions, which I would like to use. I should have bought some when it was on sale for $4.99 just to try it, but that's okay. So I'm pretty stocked up with mandala. My bin right behind me, right over here, is pretty much full with mandala yarn right now. And it was so funny. When my friend came over to my house, I was like, this is my study. This is where I make all my videos. And then I was like, this is my yarn closet. And I opened it. And she was like, oh my God, Chandrika, that's a lot of yarn. And I was like, I know. I was just like, yes, and that's my collection, right? It's like a collection. Like people who buy stamps, they don't use the stamps, they just collect the stamps. I'm actually using my yarn. So mine is not just a collection to look at, but mine is a collection that I use. So that is the difference between those 2 collections. Anyways, so what was I saying? I interrupted my own train of thought. Let me have some water, a sip of water. I actually wanted to tell you that I made this amazing juice yesterday. So because I went on that date by myself, I tried out a new juice. One second. I tried out a new juice, like a fresh juice. Oh, great. Now the room keeps getting light and dark and light and dark. I didn't turn on the top light because I felt like there was enough light coming from outside. Anyways, so I tried out this new juice and it tasted really like fresh and invigorating. So I was like, let me make this at home. So yesterday I made my own juice. I gave some to my kids. My daughter barely tasted it, but my son had he had a decent amount, like he tasted it properly. So I put what I had at home. So I put cucumber, I put apples, I put lemon, I squeezed it in there. I put ginger, and I put strawberries. And I put a little bit of water and a little bit of ice, and I blended it. And it turned out so, so good. That ginger in there and that lemon, oh, just, it was so good. And I'm so lucky that I made it yesterday, but I didn't finish it, so I had enough for today. And I tasted it, and it tastes amazing. It still tastes so, so good. So I'm continuing to have it today. I'm going to finish it, and it turned out really well. So I'm trying to think what else I could have put. Yeah, so I had blueberries and blackberries, but I didn't put it in there because I wanted the color to be more orangish red than purple. But next time I can try putting that. Next time I could put a banana. But I just put like very light ingredients. And it just felt like a nice way to get that. And I think the ginger just really kicked it up another level and made it taste so good. So I would definitely recommend trying that out. I made it in my NutriBullet. And then the NutriBullet has like a... when you remove the blade, you can instead put like a cover, like a bottle, like a cap. What am I saying? You can twist off and you can put a cap and you can just drink directly from there. It has a spout and everything. So that's what I did, and that's how I kept it in the fridge. So the NutriBullet, it's like amazing. It's really, really convenient, small little gadget. I also have a Vitamix, but I haven't pulled that out in so long. And the NutriBullet's just so easy to clean. So that's what I used. I want to say that whole process took me like less than 10 minutes for sure, and I got a nice healthy juice for a fraction of the cost that you would pay outside to buy a drink like that. So it was really good. I think in the future I could maybe add like beets or something else to give it like some more color, but it turned out good. So I'm happy about that. It's not really cold here yet. It's still very, very hot here. The temperatures are running in like the 90s and the 100 Fahrenheit range. For Celsius, that's, 35 to 40 degrees. That's how hot it's been here. So summer is like still here. It hasn't cooled down yet in Texas, in this part of Texas anyways, near Houston. And so I was like, it's September and I want to have soup. So I found a really great recipe on YouTube for minestrone soup. That's one of my favorite soups. And I bought everything and I used other things I had on hand, and I made it twice now. I made one batch last week and one batch this week. Oh, it just turned out so good. So I'll tell you quickly what's in it. So the minestrone soup is completely vegetarian. I'm vegetarian, so I put beans. So I put these red beans. I put red beans, and I put chickpeas, and I put hold on. There's diced tomatoes. The base of it is celery, carrot, and onions. And then you have some tomato paste. You have diced tomatoes. So I bought 2 cans of diced tomatoes. You have veggie broth. So I bought a low sodium veggie broth. Then you have the beans. Last week I put potato. And then you also put in cooked pasta shells. So you cook it in there. So you just do all that, add your seasonings. I added like herbs de Provence and different things like that. And then I um, let it cook on the stove, let it boil. And then once it was a little bit done, then I added in the pasta, let that boil, let that all happen. It turned out so, so good, and I'm so happy. So that is my favorite soup right now. And I'm still having it even though it's still hot outside, because in my mind it's September and it's supposed to be fall. So I've been making that soup. And aside from the soup, I've been doing like a pan of roasted veggies. So I put veggies in the oven and just bake them. And that one kind of was just like my own experimentation. That was not based on any recipe. But for that, I did cauliflower, I put green beans, I put carrots, I put onions. The onions turned out so good. So when onions get baked like that, they like caramelize and they almost become sweet. Like they become sweet. What else did I put in there? Oh, and I put tofu. And then I put the seasonings, I put some olive oil, and that turned out amazing. So I have all of that made and ready, and it just feels so nice to have some homemade food ready in the fridge. All you have to do is warm it up. I also made a lentil soup, and I had that yesterday with some ghee, which is like clarified butter. Oh, that just hit the spot. It's so funny that I'm having these warm things when it's warm outside, but I think my body is like, wait, it's supposed to be fall. So that lentil soup just like hit the spot yesterday. It was so, so good. Sorry, I'm probably making you hungry. So if you have not eaten yet, feel free to eat. If you have already eaten, then hopefully all this food talk doesn't bother you. But I just wanted to share all those things because that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to cook more at home, been doing some stuff around the house, been, taking care of the kids, and just I've been reading, I've been doing spending more time on my health, working out, walking, all these things. So I'm also trying to like join my writing group. So my crocheting is kind of on the back burner right now, but I still love my crocheting. I'm just not crocheting that fast. I'm just not devoting as much time to it, but I absolutely still love it, and I still really love that you're all watching my videos. Your comments are just wonderful and just make me so happy, and I love being a part of this community. It's so fun. I love it absolutely. Okay, I'm going to stop blabbering now and let you have a wonderful day. I hope you got some time to work on your project. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.